Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Combs. Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Diddy Combs.
When it comes to sexual allegations aimed at Diddy, they just seem to never stop. Everyone thought the accusations would come to an end when he settled his court case with his ex-girlfriend, but that is just not the case. Diddy finds himself in yet another messy sexual assault case, this time with a male associate. Keep watching till the end of this video to see just now Diddy accused of sexual assault by a former male employee. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow at the Ice Champ on Instagram now.
Former employee sues Diddy. Diddy is facing a new lawsuit filed on Monday by music producer Rodney Jones Jr., also known as Lil Rod. The lawsuit, lodged in federal district court in Manhattan, accuses Diddy of engaging in unwanted sexual contact and compelling Jones to hire prostitutes and engage in sexual acts with them. This marks the latest allegation of misconduct against Mr. Combs. According to Mr. Jones' lawsuit, spanning the years of 2022 and 2023, he asserts that he contributed to the production of the Love album, Off the Grid, Diddy's latest release. Jones claims to have served as a producer for 9 tracks on the album and mentions residing with Diddy for extended periods during that time. During his time on the Love album, Mr. Jones alleges in his lawsuit that Diddy engaged in inappropriate behavior by grabbing his genitals without consent. Additionally, Jones claims that Diddy attempted to influence him into engaging in sexual activities with another man, rationalizing it as purportedly commonplace within the music industry. In a statement, Sean Hawley, a lawyer representing Diddy, refuted the allegations and labeled Mr. Jones as untruthful. Hawley stated, "Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. His reckless name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines." When the lawsuit was initially filed, the court system incorrectly indicated that Mr. Jones was seeking $30 billion in damages. However, his lawyer Tyrone Blackburn clarified that a mistake was made and that the correct demand was $30 million. Mr. Jones alleges that during a listening party in July 2023 at Diddy's California residence, he was coerced into consuming shots of tequila that were allegedly spiked with drugs. The legal documents, however, do not specify who provided the shots or the method of coercion. Following the consumption of the drinks, Mr. Jones claims he lost consciousness and woke up at 4 a.m. the next morning, unclothed, with a worker sleeping beside him. He went on to describe more horrifying events that occurred that day. He claimed Diddy also forced him to solicit workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Diddy. He was offered huge amounts of cash to keep his mouth shut and was warned that if he happened to talk to anyone about the events, he would lose his job. Mr. Jones said Diddy also threatened him with violence. The 73-page lawsuit, rich in graphic detail and accompanied by photographs, not only names Diddy as a defendant, but also includes Universal Music Group, the major music company that briefly partnered with Diddy before the release of the Love album, and some of its key executives. The legal action suggests that Diddy retained control over Mr. Jones by using promises of accolades and access to influential record executives. Mr. Jones additionally contends that he did not receive proper compensation for his role as producer on the Love album. Earlier this month, he initiated an online crowdfunding campaign accompanied by a statement that read, "Help me sue Diddy Combs." As of Monday, it had raised less than $1,500 of the stated goal of $50,000. Tiffany Red calls out Diddy. The Grammy-nominated songwriter Tiffany Red, known for her work with such artists as Zendaya and Jason Derulo, is now supporting the claims made by Cassie against Diddy in a lawsuit that has been resolved. In a recent open letter, Tiffany Red provided a detailed account of her experiences as both a close friend and songwriter for Cassie, corroborating the allegations made against Diddy. "I'm breaking my silence, freeing myself from haunting recollections, standing in solidarity with Cassie, and standing up for myself," she writes in a letter. "I fear for my safety as her suit alludes to me, although not by name. I hope that revealing my identity to the public will afford me some measure of protection. Tiffany Red and Cassie built their friendship in 2015 while collaborating on an album that unfortunately never saw the light of day. The lawsuit filed against Diddy, which has since been resolved for an undisclosed sum, claimed that the former founder of Bad Boy Records compelled Cassie into engaging in sexual encounters with male prostitutes on several occasions. Tiffany Red is referenced in the lawsuit, particularly in connection with an incident during the night of Cassie's 29th birthday. Apparently, Tiffany Red first met Diddy on Cassie's 29th birthday at a hotel in Los Angeles. "You approached me and introduced yourself, saying, 'So you're the one writing all those songs about me,'" she detailed in the letter. "I said yes, and you stared back and said, 'That means she's talking about you, huh?' I was uncomfortable because it seemed like you were talking about the more turbulent parts of your relationship." The birthday celebration shifted to a karaoke venue named Blind Dragon, where Tiffany Red remarked that the atmosphere turned instantly uncomfortable upon the arrival of Diddy and his bodyguards. According to her account, Cassie was abruptly taken out of the private karaoke room and ushered into another room. Sensing something suspicious, Red decided to follow Cassie to ensure her well-being. She gave further details of that night in her letter, as she wrote, "When I walked out of the room, you had her backed into a corner in the hallway outside of the door, and your security surrounded you as you cursed her out with your hands in her face." She further detailed that she established eye contact with Cassie and observed her clear desire to leave the premises. According to her account, Cassie appeared visibly uncomfortable, with an obvious expression of fear in her eyes. She asserted that Cassie seemed scared and she felt a sense of helplessness, uncertain about how to intervene and rescue her friend. Before that particular incident, Cassie had confided in Tiffany Red regarding Diddy's physical abuse towards her. On the night when Red stayed over at Cassie's place while she accompanied Diddy and his entourage, she was awakened early in the morning by Diddy's loud yelling directed at Cassie. Later on, Cassie informed Tiffany Red that Diddy had subjected her to what he called a freak-off, which is the same term Cassie used in her lawsuit. Per the suit, he allegedly forced her to participate in these voyeuristic fantasy freak-offs, which involved making her have sex with male prostitutes so he could record videos, take pictures, and Tiffany Red concluded her letter by saying, "Your abuse of power has inflicted ongoing harm on countless individuals, including myself, my friends, and my peers. You're hurting the very black and brown people you say you love and support. It pains me to write this letter to you as a black woman, but when will this cycle of abuse stop? It has to stop." Diddy's lawsuit with ex-girlfriend. On November 16th, Cassie filed a federal lawsuit against Diddy, claiming that he had subjected her to and a sustained pattern of abuse